For Holmes Murphy, it's a tweet that raised the ire of thousands. A report from Energy Star said the optimum temperature for setting your home AC unit is 78 degrees when you're at home, 82 when you're sleeping, and 85 while you're at work. Well, we're bringing in Josh Campbell. He's the owner of Rescue Air. He's on the KRLD Newsline. Is it a legit complaint that 78 is just too warm when we're at home?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can complain about anything you want to, but I would complain. And I'm in the industry, so I know how design works, but I also know how my body feels. If I tell my wife we've got to be at 78, we got problems. So, I mean, my house at night, 68. During the day, we keep it 72, 73.
It's not realistic, is it?
So what is realistic, you know? Is it or what we're trying to do about our demand on the power grid, what we're trying to do about, whatever your perspective might be on the environment, or what are you trying to do about your own personal comfort and the way you feel?
Does that make sense? Is that raising the air when you're not at home is a good idea?
Yeah. So when you're not at home, if you do a setback, a good rule of thumb has always been around 5 degrees setback temperature is where you're going to see the best energy saving. So, the less you use your air conditioner, obviously, in Dallas, I saw a study that showed that 70% of your electric bill came from your air conditioning. So when you figure that amount of your energy bill is coming from that one source, the less you use it, obviously, the more you can impact your electric bill.
And realistically, how often are we putting a severe strain on the grid because of all of our AC use?
Yeah, so when it's the hottest and when we're running it the most, we're all doing the same thing at the same time. I've seen you always hear that, like, I've heard that the most power is used during the Super Bowl at halftime, I don't know if you've ever heard that one before, but that's when the most energy in America is being used. And I'm not sure if that's still accurate, but so I was recently reading a study here, and design temperature in Dallas or in Tarrant County in Fort Worth is 98 or 99 respectively, right? And typically we're trying to be able to reduce our power, the temperature by 25 degrees as the typical goal. So, what your unit is able to do at a given temperature is so the higher the temperature goes, the more power we're using. So that's where I think these numbers really come from, is trying to get people to use less power under when our grid is on the most duress.
If you set your air conditioning up to 85 when you're out of the house, how much work does it take to bring it down to a 78 with that big of a temperature difference?
Yeah, so it takes a ton of work. So that's why there's that setback temperature that's an ideal one, which I believe is somewhere around 5 degrees. But it takes a ton of work. It's a really long run time. It's going to pull a lot of power to get that thing back to temperature.
Josh Campbell, the owner of Rescue Air.